Good morning. It is day 41 of our fitness journey. It's not the best coffee in the world. We bought a box of French vanilla Keurig K cups. Why, I don't know. Because it was cheap, I guess. It was like, I don't know, maybe 100 pods. It was cheap and bad idea. All right, so today is day 41, and because the name of our fitness journey, what I have named it, is breaking 40. I thought, well, something special should happen today, but nothing really special is going on. Mainly because the kids and Stacy are out with a homeschool group, and it just takes that's the time we have today to exercise, and they need to go out and socialize, and that's a good thing. So nothing negative about that. It just means that that's what happens instead of exercise, and that's okay. That's okay. But so day 41, we broke through the 40. We broke 40. Yeah, pretty awesome. But I thought I would just take a second to talk about breaking 40 and kind of reiterate what we're doing here. And so last year I took a year to drive a semi truck, and I talk about this a lot with people in my van whenever I drive Uber and Lyft. I like to say that I just wanted to travel, couldn't think of how to do it, so I decided I'd drive a semi truck, and that's some of the truth. A lot of the truth is that I just kind of went crazy for a little bit, maybe. Coming off some failed ventures, ministry, pastoral work, a thrift store that we poured our lives into. I don't know. Something happened, and I didn't know what to do, and driving a truck seemed interesting. I love to travel, so I did it, and it was a mistake. I regret it. Physically destroyed me, spiritually, psychologically. When I came home on December 13th for 2 weeks off, because I was gone for 3 weeks and home for a week, and when I came home for 2 weeks off for Christmas, the plan was to go back. I was team driving with my brother, so I came home with a lot of money, and because it was a lucrative job, and took my family down to San Antonio, where we grew up, and went to the Riverwalk and went to Mission San Jose. Some of the music you're listening to right now is footage from Mission San Jose on Christmas time. They had a beautiful choir of women singing. It was just incredible. And on the Riverwalk there was a jazz musician, and it was just great. But a great time, except it wasn't a great time. I got in on Thursday. We left on Friday, and we were gone. And let me tell you, I was gone for 3 weeks, a little bit longer actually, because we just had Thanksgiving. I was gone for 3 weeks, came home for Thanksgiving for 2 days, went out again for another 2 weeks, 3 weeks, whatever. I was burned out. I was sick of it. I was upset. I was emotionally spent. Missed my family. I was depressed. And I come home, I see my house for a few hours, and I get back on the road, and it was a mistake. It was a mistake, but physically I couldn't handle it. Walking around the Mission, it's not a very big place, but it was too much for me. I was hurting. I was exhausted. Walking around the Riverwalk. The Riverwalk's a beautiful place, especially in Christmas time, and I couldn't handle it. I was grumpy. I was mean. I mean, I didn't lash out. I didn't really show it too much. Stacy knew it. It ruined her night. Um, but it was awful. It was an awful time. And when I came back from San Antonio, I realized, hey, this this isn't working. I've got to stop. I have to stop. I have to save myself, because I felt like I was on a path of destruction. I really did, and I knew I was. I knew that this was not going to end well for me. And so I 2 days before Christmas, I drove my truck up to the terminal in Springfield, 300 miles away, and dropped it off, and sent an email to my fleet manager and said, "Hey, I can't do this anymore." And that was it. And that was it. And it took me a good solid month and a half to get my head around what I was going to do next. And the fact that I wasn't going to be driving a truck anymore, I started off with the local company and quit that pretty quickly. But then I realized, you know what? I have to fix this. I have to fix this. I'm 400 pounds on blood pressure medicine, on Wellbutrin for depression. My anxiety was through the roof. It was time. It was time. And so that was it. We started it. We realized I listened to a podcast, and it was, I've talked about it before, story of a guy who walked across Antarctica, said, hey, listen, I'm just a normal guy. I just realized that whenever my brain tells me I can't keep going, I've only reached about 40% of my potential. I keep pushing it, and hey, I can keep going. And I thought, hey, let's do that. Let's go out there as frequently as possible, every day if at all possible, but at least every other day, if not more, just as much as we possibly can, to get out there and break through that 40% barrier, break through that point where our mind tells us we can't keep going. Let's just keep doing it anyway. And 41 days later, we've done it 98% of the time, maybe more. In the last 40 days, we've gotten out and we've done it. And we've fixed our food problem, although to say we fixed it is dangerous, because you start to get complacent when you think you fixed something. We have corrected the issue we've had with food, or the relationship we've had with food, and it will stay corrected if we are vigilant, and we will be. And so all in all, we're just we're loving life. We are doing well. So keep watching, those few of you who do, and subscribe and like and comment when you can. It helps keep this going, and we will keep going. And do not pay attention to those two lights back there that need bulbs. There, I should have done this the whole time.
Listen.